Yo, you're
Hi, you
good.
guys. Welcome back to the Comfy Couch. Me and Kim, we popping back in your life. Baby, did y'all think that we was gone forever? Absolutely not. We was on a little hiatus because everybody needs to take a break, right? Or y'all want to know the tea for real? Kim, should we tell him the tea? You want me to tell him? Because I tell him.
I mean,
What's
this is
tea?
your show. Be honest with the people. Let them know
Right,
what's
you
up.
know, I love sharing everything with Cam. I don't know why he doesn't like to share with me, but it's okay. And I look at his.
Well, is that supposed to be a jab? Listen, I'm a private person. Everybody who knows me knows I'm a private person. I'm a
It was
private
a
person.
little bit. It was a little bit of a drag. But
So
listen, y'all, on a more
I
serious
dodged.
note, we are popping back into your lives. Yeah, I'm trying to be serious. We're popping
That's
back into y'all's lives. Let me tell you what happened. So listen, I have parted ways with the podcast about Nothing Network, and I am solely going the Comfy Couch. When I say I mean the Comfy Couch, my brand, everything comfy, cozy, me. We, the Comfy Couch, we're moving strictly to YouTube, right, Ken?
mm-hmm. This will be
Right.
on
We're
your
strictly
YouTube
moving to
channel.
YouTube independently. Say it again.
This will be on your YouTube channel. This is all
On
your
my
brand.
YouTube channel. Yeah, yeah. He helping me because he knows, like, honestly, I will forget. So he's helping me. He's such a great assist. I just love him so much. Give a round of applause for Ken. Do we got sound effects?
I can add them.
Okay. Okay. So give yourself a round of applause. Yay!
Not necessary. You do this every time. I
It's
told you it's not necessary.
insert them here. Listen, no bad blood, no anything like that. When it's just time to go, baby, it's time to go, and it was time to go. So we will strictly be on YouTube. We are gonna link everything Comfy Couch. Where, Kimmy? Here.
Yeah, so everything will be, she will be sending out a link tree, which will have all of the destinations for just strictly the comfy couch. So whether it's Facebook, YouTube,
Yes,
any other
TikTok,
socials that you
Instagram.
may have and use, it will all be within one destination. Just to make it easy for everyone who does tune in and who does follow Siobhan on her journey to access, as well as email for any type of business inquiries and things of that nature will all be provided within this link tree. So that will be in the description box down below, as well as just everywhere that she posts. She will be posting it there as well. So make it a little easy for everybody to follow and tune in and tap in with what she has going on.
Don't y'all just love him? He just makes everything so professional and clean. See, that would have took me 18 minutes to explain. Because you know when we got to get together. He went straight, precise, clean, cut to the point, which actually can set us up for our conversation today, y'all. Hold your wigs, women. The berets, fix them. Jits, fix those ties. Fix the bow ties and the shoes and everything in between. Your shirt, fix your shirt
I don't have a tie
and your
though.
beanie. Fix your shirt and your beanie. Well, it's Sunday,
Yeah,
not
my
just came
beanie,
to church.
and then
I'm so
I got on
sorry.
slides. I got on like Nike
And
slides. I don't know how to fix those.
slide the slides off, baby. We
Like
about to get real cozy,
Nike
real
slides.
comfortable, real snuggly. Like my daughter say, she say, "Mommy, I just want to be snuggly with you." We got to get real snuggly because of our conversation today. It is what? What did I say we was talking about? Please take that out.
Think tank. Oh no, all this staying
My
in. All this staying in.
no. Oh, I mean, I guess it can. All right, so no. Our topic today is about think tanks. Siobhan, you and these titles. I know. I love them. I love to play on words. I'm a words gal. You know, I used to read the dictionary back in my day when I was in elementary school, and I'm very proud about it. I learned a lot of words to slice people up with in a healthy way. Because sometimes cutting is necessary. And I'm biblically referencing that to when you're being chastised. And it says that in Hebrews. Don't look at me like that, Ken. Okay, think tanks. Emotion versus logic. This is why I said women hold your weaves. This is why I said, gentlemen, fix your shirts. Can't got on slides. Take your slides off, get real comfortable. Because it is always the battle of women emotions versus man logic. Did I say that
Hmm.
right, Ken?
Yeah, emotions versus logic. Absolutely, absolutely.
Here he see. We're gonna have a debate. I can already tell this one. He likes to put up a lot of fights.
It's
He
not
do.
about putting
He
in
like to
fights. I use logic, which is ideal for what we are talking about today.
first
And
one.
you see all that
First
emotion that
topic.
was just on her face. See, it works. It works.
I it's just this I prepped myself for this episode because I have to take my stand for the species of women. And I'm gonna give credit to my men where it's due. But y'all be coming for us. Y'all be coming for us with the emotions. So we gonna break that down and we gonna take a look into both sides and see what it looks like. Because as I grow in wisdom on my journey of singleness and waiting until the right time to get into a relationship, clients and everything that come to me, especially my male clients, I am learning a lot about how logic is absolutely necessary and baby how we be too emotional. So I'm gonna give y'all credit when we get there. And then I'm also seeing how when God made woman and man, how he knew that we need each other because sometimes men be missing the emotional state of where y'all need to be gathered, and we gather y'all there. So we get something out of y'all that y'all actually need to emote, and then y'all instill into us logical things that, like me talking forever. What Cam said in 2 seconds, it takes me 18 minutes. He teaches, right? And I learned like Kim, hey, instead of being stubborn, I asked him help to say, Kim, how would you say this professionally instead of making a 5-page essay? And he'd be like, this is what you need to do. You got the words, just slow down. I'm like, oh, okay, thank you. Praise God.
Hmm.
Logic, he's helpful. Okay, so what's your think tank? How do you identify? That's what we first want to talk about. Because not all women identify emotionally. Let me shake the camera. Y'all, I can't really shake my camera because my ring light is on its last thread, baby. So if y'all want to bless people and sponsor anything, Christmas, la 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 la, it's right around the corner. And if you want to donate out to Cam, link my cash app.
Link your cash
Cam,
app. Okay.
link my cash app so that they can sponsor baby. Cause honey, it's on its last thing. If y'all, I wish I could turn it around so y'all can see how I have this rig. Not that y'all need to be in my business, but I love y'all so much. It helps to tell the truth. It's funner that way, okay? Honey, I can't breathe wrong. This thing will fall apart. And I thank God that the angels are assisting and holding it in place so that all goes well. No, for real. Link their cash app. And if y'all want to, but it's one on Amazon that's nice. My sister got it and it's on sale. And I really like that one. Might even link the one. Put it, one day we'll be big and we'll have a store, right, Kim? Don't they do that now? Like, go to my Amazon store and you can purchase this there. We'll purchase that for me first, and then I'll, uh, I'll give back.
Not you asking for donations and sponsorships on the first episode back. What?
Honey, don't be
Listen,
shy.
that
Let
will
the
in due
multimillionaire
time.
come across
In
this
due
episode. Let
time.
him or her come on across this episode and say, they're hilarious. Let me sponsor them. Come on. I pray y'all right on in, Destiny Helpers. How do you identify? Like I was saying before I went on my goop trip, not all women identify emotionally. Now, spiritually, since this is spiritual counseling, that is the majority of what the Coffee Couch is about. At least not we forget people. Naturally, we are going to have a facet that we pull from as women. Can't speak for men because I'm not a man. That is naturally going to be emotional. We're built to be emotional beings. I want y'all to hear me saying that because some of y'all be out here acting like, oh, I don't have that. It's not. Yes, you was designed with it, baby. let's not push that to the side. However, because of life and things, inflictions and conflictions and all of this other stuff, it can start to chip away at how we process and about how we solidify our emotions as women. And it makes us feel like I can be smarter than this man. Let me identify with being logical. Cam, over to you. How do you identify?
Logical. That's just what you. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. I I am a very logical, rational thinker. And that comes to pretty much every aspect of my relationships, whether it be romantic relationship, whether it just be platonic friendship oriented things like that. Like,
Platonic business. He's so logical.
yeah,
Oh my
yeah, I'm
gosh.
just
It
um.
grinds my gears.
Well, that's because you're emotional. That's what it comes back to, and it's that clash: emotion versus logic. It's a clash, and it's not that I can't identify with emotions and that emotional side and things like that. It's just that because emotions, when you think with your emotions, it causes you to lash out a lot of times. It causes you to just, sometimes even say things that you don't necessarily mean because
That's so
you're
true.
acting based off of emotions. You're
Yes,
not
sir.
stopping to think through what you're saying. You're not stopping to think about how someone can be affected by you having those type of emotional outbursts.
Hmm.
Whereas if you really just stop and think through everything, so much of any confrontation, whether it be argumentative, whether it be playful, debateful or whatever, can be shortened down or eliminated. Kind of like what you said in the beginning of how you can talk for 3 hours and I can say in 5 minutes what you say in 3 hours. It's
Yep.
because I'm thinking through what I'm going to say. I'm thinking about how I'm going to structure this in a way that people will understand and not have to have me repeat myself and things like that for them to get it. They can grasp it off the first go around in a way that doesn't downplay the situation, doesn't demean anybody, doesn't, cause any additional conflict or tension. Now, I have had those situations where I do that, and because I'm talking to somebody who's acting off of emotion, then that emotional side triggers. It's like, okay, so what you trying to say? Okay, so how you trying to come at me? Like, you trying to say or play like I don't know what I'm talking about, yada yada yada. And it's like, no, that's not what I'm saying at all. What I'm saying is exactly what I'm saying, and I'm
Hmm.
trying to move towards a solution, trying to move towards a resolution. Like, and yeah, I just because of that, because I've experienced that, and because I think through those things, I've always wanted to attack any situation from a logical standpoint, rather than an emotional one. So,
Have you ever started off tackling it emotionally, or logic is just like your natural
um,
baseline to function out of?
logic is my natural baseline. Now, I'm not saying that I haven't had those emotional outbursts or triggers and things like that. But that was also early on, when I was a lot younger, and things like that. Um, but it's all just a mindset. It's all just a mentality. At the end of the day,
Mm-hmm.
and I think that because I matured at a very early age, I've realized that early on. Um, and I've also seen the results of emotional outbursts, how that can make a situation 100 times worse. Um, because, like I said, when you are emotional, you're not using logic at all. Like, and not using logic just makes things worse. Um, Not in all situations, but in a vast majority of situations, depending on what's being talked about or what's going on. Of course. So for me, I've just always been one of those people that I want to see the logic in a situation. even when I read or I watch movies. Like, I'm that person that analyzes everything because I want to understand the
Everything.
logic behind what's going on. Or I'll see something played out and I automatically start thinking, okay, how can or how could this have been improved upon? Like, what steps could have been cut out or what different approach could have been taken to achieve the same or even a better outcome than what they got in a shorter time frame. So that's just how my mind works. People can't stand interacting with
Now,
me
see,
because of that.
I
So,
think us as women, we do that. We just add a lot of razzle dazzle to it. We just perfume it with a lot of emotion.
but why?
We try to get to the same result, right? Especially speaking on relationships, especially if we're trying to make it work. I just think we just perfume it and make it. What do we say I am? We exaggerate.
Oh, you're dramatic.
There we go. We make it a lot bit, not a little bit. We make it a lot bit dramatic. However,
A
I
lot,
I
a lot.
I think if I can say this, women, and let me know if y'all agree, sisters out there, sistering of the gatherings. I think I'm gonna say we see the same solution, right? We just take a different route to get there. And because we're built like this, like we didn't wake up and say, okay, God, I want to be profusely emotional. Like I overzealously want to overreact. I pray we don't wake up and do that, ladies. Like, I pray we don't be like, today is gonna be the day when me and Cam had this conversation. My dramatization goes from 0 to 30. While he's just sitting there being cool, calm, and collected with his logic and how sweet and saccharine he is with making sense, I'm going to come in and not make a lick of sense because I'm going to be rambling and stumbling and crying and throwing a hissy fit. I don't think we do that. I just think naturally because we're nurturing. Not to say that men aren't nurturing, but we're moms. Like it's just something that is in our DNA. Okay? In the genomes, people, in our cellular breakdowns, the membranes, the follicles of who we are. Okay? That just add a little drama. Just a little spice up your life. And for me, I just look at it as keeping y'all alive. Look, you got to make sure you're still living. So why not, bring a little cry to you, can? Why not?
See,
At least
and
I know
that
you're there.
that right there, that right there was an emotional response. Because you not only did you explain to me and explain to everyone
Ah,
that it's not something that we necessarily want to do. We're
we
programmed to
don't
do
want.
it. But by you identifying that, by you seeing that, means that it's now a choice, and you continue to choose
It
to.
is.
But that's what I'm saying. So it's if you want to,
I
you're doing
agree.
that to get a
What
rise out of
exactly?
us, or in a relationship standpoint, you're doing that to get a rise. For what reason? Why do that? Why come with the dramatics and everything like that to just simply get a rise out of us to try to keep us on our toes, keep us alive, as you said? When that in most situations, that,
Now, why in the blazing for Jesus? Y'all know I'm working. Family.
so
Don't
a little
call
bit of a
me. It
technical
messes up
hiccup,
my
but it's all good.
technical
We're back.
difficulties. Okay, we're back. What I was saying was I had absolutely no idea what Cam said the last 5 seconds. Forgive me. Apologize. What I was saying was where we left off. I absolutely agree that we know that it's a choice. Some of us choose to not use the healthy route. That's what I want to rephrase. Now that I have grown and had ick dudded relationships, like dudded means dead, okay? Yuck. I have learned that in moments when I needed to just sit and listen and actually take wisdom from the young gentleman that I was involved in, I naturally chose to engage and be emotional because women, and I know that this is for all of us, I felt like he was not listening to me. Oh, y'all want me to say it again? Okay, I will. I felt like I just wasn't being heard. 9 times out of 10, that's really not what it is. And I know Kim agrees with that. The men are listening. They just tone out when you're dramatic. Like,
Facts. That's facts. Because it's like we tune out because we know that's not going to lead to anything. Like, and then we're just gonna be caught in this endless loop, this constant circle of okay, you're saying this, and we can even tell you we know what you're saying. We could repeat it back to you verbatim, and it's still it's like you're not listening to me. Yeah, you heard
yeah,
me, but you're not listening. It's like, but I'm telling you that I'm listening, I understand, and everything like that. But you're completely going against what I'm saying because you feel as if I'm not listening. So it's just a never ending cycle. So
yeah. I
a
think
lot of
that's a
times,
defense mechanism that we put up
yeah, and a lot of times, what will we do when that happens? We will shut down and
all the way. Ugh.
we will look to leave the situation. Not necessarily like leaving in the sense of oh this is over. No, I'm not trying to do this right now. Not until we can calm down. I'm not gonna say you. I'm gonna say we can calm down and have a normal, regular conversation and actually move to getting this resolved. So it's not again. It's not that we don't hear. It's not that we're not listening. We are. We're listening. We hear everything. But when it's being thrown in our face that we're not, when we're telling you we are, then what can we do? And then it's almost like you're trying to now get an emotional response out of us to match your emotion.
Yeah,
But it's like
we
for
like
what?
that, unfortunately.
It's not a game. That's the thing. It's like y'all.
It's
It
not a
gets
game.
treated as if it's a game when this is not a game. We're literally having an argument or a conversation. This is not a game. We're not playing right now. This ain't Madden. This ain't no. Like we're trying to figure this out, and it's being treated like a game because you want us to be just as emotional. Because unless we show emotion, we don't care. In order for us to care, we have to show emotion, which
Yeah,
doesn't
pretty
make
much.
sense because then we're taught not to show emotion. So
Right.
it's like if we're taught not to show emotion, and it's a bad thing when us as men, especially black men, show emotion, why would we show emotion? Just because you're showing emotion and you want us to match your emotion so that you know it's real and that you know no, me telling you, me showing you I care shouldn't be based off of an emotional response. Like, and that's just, I don't know, that's just kind of the way we look at it. I'm not going to speak for everybody, every man out there, because I know that some men don't think like that. But for the vast majority that I do know and I actually interact with personally, that's what it boils down to. And it's like, I don't know. I'm not about to match your emotion just to feed into your emotion and buy into this game that it's being turned into when it's not a game. To us, it's not a game. And then if we do get emotional, then it's like, oh, you doing too much. Like now you overly emotional. Now, like, why are you doing this? Like this is what you wanted. Now my emotion has become extreme frustration, which then will turn into anger. And when men get angry,
Boy,
what happens? Our voices naturally raise, and then it looks as if we're becoming aggressive and combative, which then turns into a problem. So, in order to prevent all that, we leave the emotion out of the situation because we've thought about everything that can happen once emotion gets involved. We've already thought about all these outcomes. We've already thought about how this will go if we allow our emotions to become involved in this conversation. So we immediately go into it with a logical mindset and then that still doesn't work out. So I don't know. It's a lot
You
that
know
goes into
what? I'm just receiving everything you're saying, and I'm like, dang, that is, it's true. When you was talking, I was like, dang, I'm sorry. Like I was whispering. I'm like, yeah, that's right. Oh yeah, he right. I'm sorry, because my perception, even right there, with you saying that, I'm like, dang, they don't have a winning outcome. Not that it's a game or anything, but when you're having conversations and you're working towards a resolve with a situation that is heightened, arguing, etc., everybody needs to feel like they've reached a common ground. And when we thrust our emotions and we push those to the forefront and don't take the time to hear what men are really trying to give logically, we set y'all up more to lose. Like the world already tell y'all, especially Black brown community, be quiet, shut up about how you're feeling, suck it up. And then you finally find, hopefully you find her and you gain solace in your girl and you get into a little conflict, and then now you just like, oh, here we go again. I'm told to shut up, or you try to force me to be something that I'm really not or haven't had the opportunity to try to be. I'm sorry.
it's all good.
Um,
It's not
that
what
was
you
so
gotta
bad. I
apologize
think
for. It's all good.
I apologize.
I'm
Like
just
I think I was
letting you
atoning
know
for.
what it is.
Oh, I think I'm atoning for my past. Any guys that I've dated or talked to out there, and I hit you with that emotional. I was gonna say my nickname. Let's be professional. Hit you with that emotional, Siobhan. Baby, forgive me. Forgive me. I think we can just jump over our next topic, which was who overpowers who, because Clint, he clearly has already explained. And if you didn't catch it, I'm gonna paraphrase. I'm gonna learn how to paraphrase like Kimmy be doing. So in an unhealthy way, when we utilize our emotions in the wrong way, women, we're overpowering men. Okay. So I think if everything is healthy and on the up and up, we could, but I think emotions overpower logic because we don't hear y'all. We go deaf. Dumb, blind, deaf, can't smell, can't taste, can't
And,
eat.
and that's true. That's true. And that's even from a man's standpoint. Like when emotion
Hmm.
becomes involved, a lot of times it leads to us getting to a stage where, like I said, it turns into anger and then we black out. And it's like now these emotions have taken full control over everything that's going on. And
Hmm.
until we can calm down, those emotions are going to be at an all time high.
Yeah.
So a lot of times, what will happen? We'll storm out and things like that. And storming out is our way of trying to regain control over our emotions. It's us trying to
Hmm.
calm down. It's us,
Right.
again, trying to leave the situation because it is becoming bad. It's becoming overly aggressive in a place that nobody, not nobody wanted it to go.
Hmm.
So we have to try to bring ourselves down. And I'm quite sure women have the same something similar that they do, just not in the same manner. I know storming off is more so something that's more common amongst men and things like that. Leaving the house, walking down the road, things like that. Us talking to ourselves, cussing y'all out. I ain't gonna cuss y'all out, see y'all's face like that. We're cussing y'all out. Ain't gonna front. But that's just our way of we have to vent within ourselves,
Hmm.
and it's like release that pressure, and
Oh
that's
my
for us the
gosh, get out my
healthiest way.
brain.
For us,
We're
that's the
sewing
healthiest
things.
way of doing it. Some people, unfortunately, things become physical and volatile in that way, and that is a release, and it's not something I condone. It's not
Right.
something that should ever be done or a thing that should be done, but it is something that I understand because I understand release. I understand, sometimes it just happens and it's never okay. But when you see those cases, all this argument then turned into a domestic violence case or something like that, I start to think it's like, okay, that means that temper started flaring, emotions
Hmm.
are at an all-time high, and one party that was involved wound up releasing, whether it's him putting his hands on her or whoever you're with, or vice versa. That is because of that built up emotion that the only way to release it was by doing that. And you'll see in a lot of cases, if it is sincere, you'll see afterwards people act like they don't know what happened, or people will be shaking in fear because that's them coming down off of that emotional high to where now they're back to themselves, and it's like, oh my goodness, what just happened? What did I just do?
Right.
Like,
Right.
so, and that's another reason why I think that not I think, I know that I go into it with a logical mindset rather than emotional, because I know how emotions can be. And that's not saying that every situation, I know we're talking about the kind of the negative side of emotions, things like that. Emotions can be great as well going into it. So it's not necessarily you should always go into over logic versus going into over emotion. It just depends on what the situation dictates. Um,
Hmm.
I think in a negative situation, it should always be logic over emotion every single time. I will stand by that. Just because, like I said, in a negative situation can easily be resolved or turned into a positive or an understanding outcome when logic is involved over emotion. Because once you go into something negative with emotion, then it just becomes even more negative, and that's where you lead to these big blow ups. So, but I don't know. I guess that's just my stance on the situation, no matter when I look at it.
Listen, do I have anything to say? I don't know. Going back to when you said pressure, y'all
Mm-hmm.
know I'm visual. So I just pictured, and this is for both species, male and female. A lot of us haven't had the real time to grow up and nurture emotions, get used to having emotions, anything, right? So just imagine a popcorn bag, put it in the microwave. The more you keep it in the microwave, or even if you make it old school and put it on the stove top, you have to make sure that there is some amount of pressure that is getting into the bag to make sure the popcorn pops. A lot of us in life, especially when you get to your adult phase and you start dating and getting in relationships or just handling your family relationships, we haven't dealt with half of anything that's in that bag. So we're being popped daily, right? Especially men. Y'all being told not to say this, feel that, cry this. No, don't do that. That bag expands, okay? You get to a point to where you keep getting into these arguments and getting frustrated and having these quarrels or these bickerings with your significant other or your family members. Somebody's going to open the bag and everything's going to pop out and explode. And then people want to look at you like you're crazy and like you ain't got no sense, but not knowing that the world has poked at the bear because I haven't had the real time to sit with myself and think about how I really feel because I gotta go do this, I gotta do that, I gotta be mom. If you're a dad, I gotta be a dad, I gotta go to school, I gotta go to work, I gotta figure out how to make this work because I'm the only person that can fix. Like it's so much more that I can say, and that pops our popcorn, people. We don't always have time to sit there and deal with it. So me and Cam, we're dating, right? This is hypothetical. We're dating. I come home. I'm pissed off at my day at work. I give him the business verbally. You ain't this, that, and a third. My popcorn bag has been popping for months because I haven't had a break. We got 14 kids. They get home. They're on my nerves. He didn't even do anything, but he on my nerves just because he looked at me.
Did you say 14 kids? What?
We
What?
got 14
We got,
hypothetical kids.
we
Let me
got,
have these 14 kids.
I don't know who those is with. That,
All yours. They're all yours.
No.
So we've got all of these 14 biological human beings in this house running around. He done been to work for 12-hour shifts because he's a construction worker that's building his own business because he just left his whatever because his friend, it's so much. And then I just explode. That's a real good story.
Did you just come up
Screenwriter.
with that on the fly, or is that
I
something that
did.
you've been thinking about and
I
concocted?
did.
Okay.
No, I really just came up with that on the fly.
That
Like
was
the
very
backstory.
detailed.
We're young. We're young. We got married early. We had our kids very early. So, we got 14 in. We're about 30. We could be about 40. We could be about 40, okay? You just left your company that you've been at for 15 years as a construction worker because your best friend that you were supposed to go on business with didn't turn out to be who he said he was. He was stealing all your money, so you had to go branch out. You was worried about that. Now that's on you, and then you got to worry how you gonna feed your family, and then I just stay at home. I went out to the grocery store. So when I said I had came back, I was coming back from going to Kroger's to get the groceries for the household. That got stressful. I got a shop for 16 people. How much money? Oh my gosh. The people out there that got a lot of kids, I need to know how y'all do this thing because one is enough for me. Anyway,
I'm gonna tell
so
you,
that all of
shopping
that
at
to
Kroger
say,
ain't what you going to a high
all these.
end, expensive grocery store. That
Well, I
definitely ain't
love
gonna keep
I
money in
love
your pocket.
Kroger. All these, we're a healthy family, so the prices went up. We going to Whole Foods. That's the money. Listen, listen.
I don't know who
I'm telling
she's
you.
married
Listen,
to,
this is
y'all.
the
I don't
story.
know
So I
who.
get home and I'm popping off because I'm just stressed out, not taking into account of anything of anybody else. I got these kids. I got my man. He ain't even doing that. He just looking at me, and it's just making me mad. And my popcorn bag is exploding. I have to come to a point to where I say, this is my situation. This is what I'm really looking at. And this is how I have to remember in my episodes previously, have my checklist and say, this is how I need to de-escalate so that I don't bring home everything. It's some things that we can share with our spouses and our mates, right? That we can just truthfully come together and have that moment where like, babe, this is stressing me out. This it's some things that I could before I bring it to my man, I can handle on my own instead of being a baby. A lot of stuff that we bring to men as women emotionally, 9 times out of 10, we could have talked ourselves. First of all, we could have talked to God. Could would have been done, and then we would have came to our man and had to figure it out logically, and would be able to sit and listen to him. So when he spews his logic, we ain't like, you're not listening to me. We be like, no, babe, that makes sense because I calmed down before I came to you. So my whole story, backline, screenwriter story, the backstory of that is we all have to learn how to calm down. More so women than men because we are emotional. But when we calm down and realize what we're dealing with, a lot of times it's just random stuff. We get into an argument that probably ain't even got nothing to really do with the problem. It's probably because I was stressed out shopping for 16 people and I gotta cook and clean and come home and then you just get to kick your feet up and I gotta make your plate. And nobody said, I appreciate you, mom. Then I get emotional and take it out on you. So we need to take that into account. That was real deep. Let's go
That
into
was
game
very
time
deep
because
and emotional. Like
but
that
that
was
was
a
good though.
very
Men
emotional
and
story.
women they will resonate with that though because that's really people's lives out here.
You're right. 14 kids is a bit
They
much.
will.
Way too
And
excessive.
listen, if you don't have a two-parent household, that's stressful and it's harder because you don't even have that help of hubby coming home. You don't have that help if the wife works and the husband stays at home because that's real life too. If one of us coming home, the other person is non-existent because I'm a single parent. So I got 14 kids by myself. I'm trying to work it out with this long distance relationship and I'm taking it out on him. Cool. Okay, that's real life. Like we gotta assess. Now, can't kick us into our game time because baby, that was a lot.
Yeah.
It was a lot.
uh,
This is a really good episode. We're getting really, 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 really deep about some things that I feel. Men and women, we need to sit down and have some real conversations about, because we go off and we want to blame the other person that we're in a relationship with or trying to build with. And it's not always on them. It's because I haven't taken the time as a grown woman to sit with myself and analyze what's wrong with me. I haven't taken the time to go reach out for help. I haven't taken the time to find the faith that's going to ground me to see, like, you a problem. Because women, we swear a lot of times that we be the solutions and we bring the problems because emotionally we don't know how to take critique. And I say that with grace. Men will bring a lot of critique. And I've learned from my daughter's father, when we were dating and courting in college, he would be dropping some gems because I didn't really have a dad in my life. Presently, in and out, I had a dad. Other than that, it was just my mom raising me and my siblings. So he would see where I had a need about learning how to put air in a tire. I don't know. I never was taught. Honestly, it was a default on my parenting. It had nothing to do with me. I just missed it. It was some things that he would be like, "This is how you use a screwdriver," and I said, "I ain't touching that. That's for a man." No, it's not.
Yeah,
You
so
need to
that's
learn how to fix things, because if I'm not around, you're just gonna let your house fall apart. And I was like, "Yeah, you the man." And he'd be like, "Something's wrong with you." I said, "No, it ain't something wrong with you." You see, combat it. Because in my mind, especially as women, we're groomed to be princesses. Fairy tale, not real. He was just really trying to say, "Hey, Siobhan, I see where you haven't had a male figure in your life. I'm not trying to take the role of your father, but I am trying to give you some sound advice, because if I'm not here one day, what are you going to do? You can't always rely on a man to just come and be like, 'Here, I'll fix it.' Especially if they're not your husband, because every guy's not like how I was raised. He was really raised two-parent household, seeing his grandma and his grandfather married for plenty of years and do it right and get it together. Family that comes from marriage. Like, I didn't have that. So my view coming in when we were dating, I was like, I don't know what you're talking about. You sound stupid.
hmm
Two-parent what? That don't make sense to me. I see my mom do it by herself. I had to learn how to take on a different role and see, like, okay, as a woman, know your place, and knowing your place sometimes is really asking for help and sitting down with your man and saying, "Babe, explain to me how this makes sense." Because it don't make sense to me, instead of, "You don't listen to me, you just forget me all the time, you just want to be with your friends and da da da." Eh, cut it out. Okay? That's for everybody that want to bring something to the table, but y'all afflicted emotions always arising like a tsunami. Back down. Cut it out. Get it together. Camp, game time. We're gonna pick who said what to cut how deep we're getting. Who said what? I'm gonna rattle off maybe like seven, because we've been talking forever for right now. Maybe like seven things, and then y'all just get to pick, like, "Oh, a man said that." Because men definitely say that. Or you're going to be like, "Girl, a woman said that," because we would say that in a heartbeat. So you ready?
no.
One, and these are my air quotes. "I'm about to ask you something big." Who said that, y'all? A man or a woman? Cam, what you think?
That's a woman. That's a woman.
oh, oh,
That's
fine.
100% a
He's
woman.
right.
Like,
Why is it a woman?
because that's a generic question that, and especially with the word big capitalized like that, you're trying to gauge our facial expression before we answer. You're trying to
I'm
see if
hollering.
the lie is going to come out before we get a chance to tell a lie or whatever, because you're going to be like, "I already know the answer. I wouldn't have came to you and asked you if I didn't already know." Right? So yeah, that's a woman. You know, went through somebody's phone, you know, seen some type of cheating or something. So now you about to hit them with that. I'm about to ask you something big. So we sitting there like, "Oh, what's this?" Now you looking at our eyes, looking at our facial expression to see if it's gonna change, if it's gonna look nervous, if it's gonna be what. Yeah, that's that. Yep, woman.
That's terrible. It's terrible because he's right. Two. What's number two, Cammy? Number two, and I
Sit
air
back and
quote, sit
relax.
back and relax. Who said that, y'all? A man or a woman?
That can honestly
Who
be
said
both.
that to me?
That can go both ways.
It could go
Um,
both ways, but I picked it.
it
I
depends
pulled it
on the
because a man
scenario.
said it. A man said it initially. My
Man said
poll was
initially.
naturally men that would say sit back and relax.
Mhm. Okay. That's
Yeah.
what I said. It depends on the scenario. So, but yeah, I can see. I can see that being a male
All
response.
right, three.
Absolutely.
And I air quote, give me a minute. Who said that? A woman or me?
I'm gonna say that's a man. Um,
Yep. You know, hey, you ain't got to say, you know, say, I know that that was a man. That was a
no,
male response.
that's a man. Especially if you come up to us and we in the middle of doing something and you want us to stop what we doing
Yes, we do.
to
And do.
address that. Listen.
And do.
I'm in the rhythm of the. I can be really washing dishes, vacuuming the floor. You gonna come tap me on my shoulder? Hey, we need to talk. Give me a minute. Let me finish what I'm doing. Let
No.
me. I
Come
got this.
now while I'm fresh in my mind. While I'm calm about it. Come now while I'm calm.
Mm-mm,
Please.
mm-mm. Like, nope, nope. All right, no, at number four. Let's
All
see.
right, four. What is four? And I quote,
Woman.
ooh, that was a man.
That's a woman. That's an emotional
Okay,
response. If I ever seen
we'll
one.
say both. I'll say,
So that's
I'll
an
give it to
emotional
both.
response if I see one. Fine. One
Men will
word.
say fine too.
One word responses are emotional based responses. Now you're right. You're right. Man, we'll say fine. And we'll say okay. Um, but yeah, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go woman.
I said both.
Or
I pulled it from a man, but I say both. Okay, go to five. Air quotes. Don't worry about it. I'll get it. Is that a man or a woman?
so is this is based off your poll that you did?
Yep.
Don't worry about it. I'll get it. Now, I don't know how you worded this poll because, like, if it
I'm
was
not telling. I'm not giving out
in
my
a
secrets.
slightly negative manner, woman. Um,
Ah! That
because
is so true.
probably
Baby, you
probably
don't
she
move
didn't
fast enough.
ask
I don't get it.
right exactly. She didn't probably ask us to do something. We came back to that. Give me a minute response, and then it hit with the you know what? Don't worry about it.
Don't
I
worry about
get
it.
it.
I'll get it.
With the sucking of the teeth, rolling the eyes, and then walking off. And then y'all want us to chase y'all down. And
Yes,
you
chase
know what
me,
I'm not
baby.
gonna do? No. I'm gonna keep vacuuming this floor. I'm gonna keep washing these dishes, whatever I'm doing. Um, and then you're gonna peep your head around the corner. Uh, are you not coming? Didn't you just say you was gonna get her? Like, see,
See,
that's that game y'all playing. That's the
we
game.
do.
That you see
We
how
do.
how it just fell into that game? Like that's what I'm
Aren't
talking about.
aren't women supposed to be used to the chase? My God. What is that thing? Y'all are the hunters and we're the gatherers. You
Listen,
know, y'all should be used to going out there to hunt and stuff and chase things. Chase me.
my last name is Chase, and I'm done chasing. So that's just nope. I'm not chasing no more.
Moving
Chasing
on.
don't do nothing but lead
Moving on.
to
Moving on.
uh,
Moving on. Number six. This will be our last one. I really think that you should, men or women.
woman. Did you see the way you just said that? Did you see
All
the
right.
way you just said it? You just told on y'all. You just told us to say it. Did you see the way you
It's
said it?
so true. I ain't gonna say how I would say it in real life because we in the worldwide social whatever. But I really think that you should because I got three. I think it's like three different ways I say that one. I ain't gonna tell y'all my business though. So that was a fun game. You guys put in the comments things that you know for sure men say and things that you know for sure women say, and then let's come back another episode and laugh about it. Going into our fourth, boom, 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 our fourth tagline. Is it right to use both? Going back into our emotional, logical women, men conversation. Kim, do you feel that it's right to use both? It is a way to. Is it raining? Oh my goodness. I'm so sorry, y'all. It was coming so fast. It stopped my concentration. I'm so sorry. Uh, Squirrel. Remember the movie Up from Disney and the dog? It was like squirrel.
Hmm.
I got squirrel just there. Anywho, do you think it's a healthy balance to be able to function and use both? To have emotion and logic and to actually be able to possess the qualities of sitting down and having a conversation and saying, hey,
It
I'm
is.
emotional about this topic, but I can give you a logical response so that we don't have to go and get escalated. Like, what do you think? What do you feel?
Yeah, it is. But I feel like if you are using both, then it leans more
Mm-hmm.
into the logical side of things. Because as you just explained, you came in from a logical standpoint. You basically structured it almost as if it was a story. Like you explained what was going on, you explain how you felt, and then you're looking to move towards an outcome and things like that. But you started it
Mm-hmm.
from a logical stance. And as long as you're looking to
Mm-hmm.
keep that logical stance throughout, then that I feel like that will be more logical. Than it would be kind of both. But I do think that both are necessary and both can be used. But as it's the title and ticker applies, um, like it has to be right. You have to do it right. You have to go about it in the right way. Um,
Yes, sir.
and if you feel as if you start in a sense of, hey, I'm letting you know I am emotional, but I don't want these emotions to escalate, and I don't want it to, you know, get to a point of, being bad and blowing up. Like I do think that we should work to resolve this in a very calm, cool manner. Um, and things like that. And then just keeping that mindset throughout. So yeah, yeah. Now, or do
Kimmy,
you
let's
think
do an
that
example.
an example?
Let's do an
Oh,
example. Let's role play.
oh, okay.
Let's give the world an example of how to properly communicate. Me being emotional the way I am, you being logical the way that you are. We're still in our scenario of our hypothetical 14 kids, marriage,
Okay,
okay? Early man, and I'm
okay.
frustrated. So let's do that. Let's give them like 2 minutes of how it's supposed to go. Because some people ain't never had an example. People hear me out there. World, if I could, if my ring light wasn't janky, I would be shaking the camera. But get these little chocolate hands right here. Act like I'm shaking. Some people have never honestly had an example of what it's like to have healthy conversation.
Okay.
Nobody. I know in my early years of living, I had it, and it took for my village to show me, like, hey, yelling. Wow. No, you get over there. I was so used to always screaming to make sure that my voice was heard because I was an enraged little girl. And so it took a lot for me to calm down and actually sit and be calm and say, listen to the other person, Siobhan, and not talk over them to get your point. We want to be heard so bad that we'll hurt ourselves by not realizing that we're drowning the other person out because Cam has good knowledge. Okay. And whenever he's going to tell me in that moment of me being emotional to actually help me, but because I just feel like I'm assuming we can't do that either. I'm assuming to the fact that you're not going to care about anything I'm saying. So I'm about to raise my voice to get my point across. Because 9 times out of 10, when you escalate, it do relieve some stuff, some physiological stuff that be happening. We ain't got to go into that because this ain't no medical show. I should go to medical school.
Okay.
Just
All
throw
right.
that out there. I
Ain't
should.
nothing wrong with that.
But okay.
Ain't
So
nothing wrong with
Kim,
that.
let's roll. Let's come on. Come on. What's our scenario? Give us a situation because I made up one
Uh,
already. So you make up this one.
you go with it. You're the one that said that we were playing off of earlier. So this is if it's that
Okay.
scenario that you
So
created, then you what were you angry about?
okay. So this time I was at home already trying to I was cleaning all day. And Cam, he worked his 12-hour shifts. And the kids is not there. They're with grandparents on a weekend getaway at Disney World. Because you got 14 kids, you got 14 monies. Okay, times 14. You making it work, okay? He got his own construction company. And Cam came in and he did not speak to me. And we have not had time to spend with each other. And then guess what he did, women? Especially my ladies that's OCD like me. He came and dirtied up the house that I've been cleaning all day. And he has been doing that for the last 13 months. Not saying thank you to me, not giving me a thanks, babe, for doing, what you do, raising our family, taking care of our home, cooking. He ain't said nothing in 13 months, y'all. Oh, that just grind my gears for the people that's really living that. I don't know if we should play because I got mad for real a little bit.
I mean, you
Okay,
literally backed me into the furthest corner possible with the
but okay, so
scenario that you just made.
this is
No,
what
that's
happens
fine.
with our
That's fine.
people. So let's
Go ahead.
show them how we talk this out. Okay, so you just came home and I'm giving you the side eye. And I'm going to bring it. See, we be waiting for the men because I did say chase, but a lot of times we need to get our own way, women. I'm going to bring it to your attention because it's just me and you. And I love you. I'm waiting for this quality time. We just got rid of these kids. Hello, we got to do some things. We're married. Praise God. Popcorn, wine, movie. Take naps because we ain't got time for naps. We got us time to build on. So I'm gonna say, hey, babe. No, let me go. Let me do. If it was really me, this is what I do. I would go to the bathroom and I'll say a quick prayer and say, God, help me be able to get across what I need to say to my husband so that he hears what I'm saying without me being all anxiously, overzealously emotional. I would come out the bathroom and I would see my husband sitting in his chair getting on his computer because Kim like to play games, right? So to relieve him from a stressful work day, because we don't think about that either, huh? He just get on his game because his friend said, "All right, at 5:30, let's get on because we about to whatever." And I'd be like, "Excuse me, babe, so we had this conversation." He'd be like, "Yeah, babe, what's up?" So I say, listen, I'm really emotional right now. Please do not disengage in this conversation. I know you think I'm dramatic, but I would like for us to talk about this, especially while the children are away. It's just me and you. We ain't got no eyes, no ears, no nothing. I'm bringing this to you as your wife and as the realist that I am. Like, babe, you haven't acknowledged me lately, and I'm really starting to feel a way about that. Did I yell?
You did not. So let me, before I give you my legit response, is this how you would really approach the conversation? Like, or
Me
were you
now?
putting, yeah,
Me
no, like,
now?
yeah, how would you, is this
Oh, in real life?
legit
Oh,
how
in
you
real
would
life,
approach?
yes.
Yeah. Okay, okay. I just
In
want to
real
make
life,
sure
yes.
that you wasn't putting over the camera or nothing like that. I just want to make
Oh
sure.
no, it was no projection. That was really real, y'all.
Okay.
I would really, hey babe, I see you playing your game. Ooh, you look like you winning too. 5 minutes tops. I would give you even a time because I want to make sure that you understand that I'm not trying to take nothing away from you. But for me to not feel like I'm nothing, still, we need to have this conversation. Remember when I was playing, but I said it was really serious while I'm calm and while I'm thinking rationally, hey babe, 5 minutes of your time, I just feel like you're not acknowledging the work that I do. I just feel like that may not be how you feel or what you see, but you haven't said anything verbally to me. One of my love languages, words of affirmation. So is there anything you need to tell me? What we talking about? And then babe would be like, go ahead, babe.
So okay, so first and foremost, I do apologize if I have made you feel less than, or I haven't been extremely attentive or anything of that nature. I do apologize. One thing I will ask is, can you give me specifics or go into a little bit more detail? this conversation is kind of coming out of nowhere, so I just want to get a full grasp of what's going on. That way I can properly acknowledge or address anything. And if there's any type of behavior or actions that I need to change on my end, then I'll be more than welcome to. But could I get a little bit more of what's going on to make you feel this way?
Hold on. We play a little too good because I never experienced this before in a real relationship. So now I'm like, hold on, you said sorry? I'm clutching my pearls. Did you see me?
How did you? What do you said you wanted to role play it? I'm giving you the
Hold
real.
on,
Now you
hold
don't.
on, y'all. Because listen, when
Hence
you
why I
used
asked you,
to
was this a real
toxicity,
situation?
I'm used to me being like that now. I'm not used to other individuals coming like that. Now hold on, when you're used to toxicity and you get real good loving and real healthy stuff, it take you back. I had to sit back and be like, oh, okay, we're doing this for real. So I would say, y'all, we're teaching y'all how to have healthy conversations, and we're using this as a married couple, significant others, but use this in your family's life because it be some conversations that you can't have with emotional family members. Blah blah blah. But I would come back and be like, you haven't been acknowledging the fact that I've been taking care of our home. And that just makes me feel like you don't see me. It makes, listen to what I'm saying though. It makes me feel like, that's what I want y'all to hear and how we're speaking to each other. I never said you are thinking now that I'm not doing anything. I'm letting him know these are my feelings solely coming from Siobhan. I feel as if because you have not engaged verbally in my love language to say, thank you, babe, that I feel like I'm either failing in a way or that you just don't even care. That's healthy. I'm taking ownership of how I feel by and still not placing anything on him too much. Because he can hear that and feel a little pressure and be like, okay, you know what, dang, I haven't said anything, but she do know that my mind goes a million miles a minute with building. Like my hands is constantly always moving. I gotta figure out how to pay this. We got this dude, but we don't give them credit. So instead of forcing everything on them emotionally, hey, you haven't said anything. Like, is there anything? And then for me personally, I was like, is there anything that you would like to talk about? Because my man say stuff to me. That's why he my man. What's going on with you? I realize that you're lacking in affirming me the way that you're used to. Is there something going on with you? And then Babe would be like, go ahead, babe. I like this. This is healthy.
I see. um, so
Kimmy!
it's just I don't know. I'm not a toxic person, so but
Kimmy's not.
no.
Kimmy is not
So
the toxic one. I am. Kimmy, let me tell the world that because I don't want people getting nothing wrong. Okay, let me let y'all get it right. He is not the toxic one. I am in real life,
so we're clear. I was
but
also
I'm
not calling
learning.
you toxic. I was not calling you
I
toxic.
know, but I didn't want them to be like, oh, he role playing in real life, like before Christ, BC. Okay, this child was toxic. Kimmy just been real cool for all his life. I ain't never had that, but I'm learning now. Okay, go ahead, babe. I'm sorry.
So again, it will be me. Okay, so again, I do apologize. I wasn't aware. I wasn't aware of how I been behaving or how I haven't been, affectionate. I've just been working, been in my mind. So I do apologize. It's not an excuse, but that's just what's going on. There's nothing going on with you, nothing wrong, or anything of that nature. I do certainly appreciate everything that you do to keep everything running and running smooth with the home, the family, and everything. So I will do my best to make sure that I am taking the time to show you appreciation and make sure that you are appreciated in the way that you deserve to be. So um, I know you asked me if something was going on. No, just working. That's really just it. Just been working. So That's it.
That was look at us being healthy.
So
And so listen to how he affirmed me. Everything that I literally just said, uh, Cam naturally is like this, so of course he would say it back at order. But even if you don't, man, the fact that you just still ran down, okay, this is what she said. You're not affirming me. I apologize. You also asked how was I doing. Let me hit that too. This is my answer. You cool with that? Yes, I'm cool with that. Also, one more thing. You're leaving stuff everywhere after I just clean. Can we make a pact for you to help me clean it up? If I got my 20% going today, can you do the rest of your 80% and just come behind yourself and clean up because it's getting a little hard now that our kids are getting older because they don't want to help either. We would have that conversation and he would be like, okay, yeah, when I got 80% that day, I absolutely can. But if I have my 10% and you got 90, can I rely on you to help do more or whatever? We'll figure it out. Let's end our conversation. Let's go eat our popcorn. Let's go order something. And then let's go to the throne room to have a meeting. Because guess what? We did not get into no argument. Nobody's date got ruined. Right? So we're going to end our night with love. We're going to go to the throne room. We're going to have fun. And we're going to wake up and have a great next day because we've established clear communication of how this woman calmed down. Well, I'm going to pray down. Calmed down before she brought anything to her man and how Cam was just being him and saying, okay, listen, she ain't yelling at me and screaming. We got this today. Healthy.
yeah, it's really
Healthy.
all it takes.
That
That's all
that
it takes.
as simple
Because
as that
the
was.
moment that voices would have got raised, then that could have spawned a whole different set of questions. I could have easily been like, okay, well, how long have you been feeling this way? You've been like, oh, well,
Correct.
3 months or whatever, 13 months or whatever, whatever.
13 months.
So
13 months.
why are you just now addressing this? Like, why
Correct. You
is it
see the
now
rabbit
an
hole?
issue? Why is it just now becoming a thing? Like, if you wanted
You
to
see?
change, why not address it initially or sooner? So again, that's all just logic versus emotion, like the way that the conversation can flow, and then
Hmm.
just also paying attention to the individual that is bringing or presenting the not problem but the issue, the what they have going on and things of that nature, and how it can be calmly de-escalated and moved on and fixed with sincerity via just saying what you want to hear just to end it. Like, no, it's not. There's no need for that. So, yeah.
Can
So,
you hear me?
mm-hmm.
As we were saying, center yourselves, people. We are adults and we are absolutely held responsible for how we engage and how we respond. Like every action has a consequence. Let's be very mindful of that. Um, let's be very real because we live in a real world. You have to work. It's a lot of work, not a little bit of cookable work, baby work. It ain't my new. The conversation that me and Kim just had in our hypothetical scenario, it takes work to get there. That means I've been individually working on myself. He's been working on himself so that we could come together to realize, hey, this is a conversation we need to have without the fussing and fighting. I know in the real world it may not come that easy, but the fact that you are and I guess this is just falling right into the comfy takeaways. I guess this is just um a wisdom bang for you to realize if you want something to work, if not taking anything away from women and us being emotional, but if you really wanted to work in your relationships, you have to do the work yourself. You have to do the work yourself. For me to even be able to sit and listen to his response, as calm as he was, with my trauma background, that's scary. For me, the old me would have been like, I'm about to play his game. Like, he don't even know that I'm about to go to 60. in voice and in action, because all of the hand movements and the pushing and all of that, it's unnecessary. But I just thought that it was. So it takes a willingness to really listen to anybody. I know we put emotion and logic on the title of this episode, but just to listen, it takes a lot to listen to somebody that does not have the same view as you, that does not come from the same background as you, that does not come from the same placement as you have. Like I said in the beginning, my daughter's father, two-parent household through his grandparents and his uncles and aunts and stuff. One parent. It really takes work so that you can see where you need to fix you, and how some stuff we we naturally push dysfunction to the forefront, and we ride the tailcoat of the dysfunction, and we make it functional because we don't know what it's really like to function and what really God intended for us to do. Like mom and dad supposed to be in the house. Does it always work out like that? No, but then you have a village. Are you really confided in your village to teach you? Remember, I said earlier, he was just teaching me how to put air in a tire, baby, and I was like, "You're the man." Uh-uh. Stop. Grow up. A lot of us need to be held accountable for being immature in those moments. Even when Ken asked me and said, "Is that really your response?" I told the truth. I said, "Listen, now the old me, she would have sliced you down." This new, refined, healing me. I don't want to put ED on it because I'm healing every day. This new, refined, healing me, it's like, I don't even want to fight. Like, you, as a black man, you already have enough of that when you leave our home. Please make sure that you feel safe in me. And if I want this to work, outside of us having our hypothetical 14 children, our relationship alone is enough for me to calm down and not always be so sporadic with being emotional. It's like, okay, I'm going to listen to my man because I want him at the end of the day. I'm going to listen. And this is not, again, not just for significant others. I'm going to listen to the wisdom that my father is giving me because I cherish him. Whenever my mom tells me out of correction, out of love, I'm going to listen finally because I cherish. If she's been saying the same thing to me for over 14 years, she sees something that I'm apparently missing. I am going to be held responsible for that, especially if you have children. You need to fix your attitude, Siobhan. No, I don't. It's going on year 14 and you still haven't fixed it. There's something right there that you're missing. Okay, maybe she's right. Because people are starting to see this crack in my attitude. Like, it's a little flawed there. We ain't got to be perfect, but we really do got to be trying. We also have to know, I'm going to tell y'all this, and then whether y'all be cool or come out of a bag on me. Prayer changes everything. When you pray first before you engage in any conversation, especially when it's these heavy ones that you just be a little uncertain or uncomfortable about, it changes things. I told you, I would go in the bathroom and say, I want to yell, I want to scream, I want to cuss, I want to cry right now because I feel like he's ignoring me. God, please just help me figure out how to convey it to where he understands and to where I still feel heard. I left that bathroom and made a choice to be calm. It, insert that into your lives. Like it really helps. Prayer don't hurt nothing but the devil. Okay, let's insert that. Prayer don't hurt nothing but the devil. And we want him to hurt, right? We don't want him to get no glory and none of that will holler. We want him to hurt. We want him to be defeated. Let me tell you one more thing, and then I'm gonna turn it over to Ken for the comfy takeaway. The enemy absolutely hates relationships. He does his best to make sure relationships don't prosper. So, you fighting with anybody, motion, logic, it makes no sense because we're supposed to be together. Unity. What did Queen Latifah say?
UNITY.
There you have it. Over to you, Cam.
No, you kind of hit everything on the head. I don't really have too much to add, but me personally, I just if it comes down to a situation where there is going to be a conversation or there is going to be some type of dispute, anything like that, think through what you're going to say before you say it.
Hmm.
Go into it as calm as humanly possible before you choose to engage and dive into the conversation that needs to be had within that moment. It will, I promise you, it will solve so much when cooler heads have those type of conversations. And even if you start a conversation and you feel as if it's going to escalate to a point where you don't want it to go, put a pause in the convo. It's not a problem to say, okay, hold on. I don't like where this is going. Let's
Hmm.
just, I know we both want it to be resolved, but let's just take a break, go calm down a little bit, cool off a little bit, and then come back and we'll talk about it once we're both in a different headspace and things like that. And that right there will solve so much as well. I
I
can't
was
tell
gonna
you,
say,
I practice that. I do that all the time. I'm gonna tell everybody, like, if I feel like either party's not being heard, especially myself, if I feel like, okay, I've said the same thing 3 times now. Clearly it's not getting through. Clearly I need to come at this with a different strategy, different
hmm,
approach. Let's go ahead and put a pause in this. True enough, the other party may not like it. They may not like the idea, but like this needs to happen.
hmm,
And be firm with it. Like, yo, I'm not going to continue this conversation. If voices is going to be raised, if this and this. So yes, let's go ahead and calm down before we come back and talk. Um, and be willing to listen. Both ends of the spectrum need to be willing to listen. Like being able to listen to what the other person is saying, being receptive to what they're saying, and willing to understand where they're coming from while saying it will change a whole lot as well. Um, so I don't know. Just got to go into it with a sense of maturity. You got to leave the immature side of things out of it.
period.
You have to come. You have to be mature with how you handle these conversations. And
That's scripture.
to me,
When I was a
logic.
child, I think as a child, but when I grew up, I put away childish things, okay? And we have to learn how to do that. I didn't mean to cut you off, Kenny.
No, you good. You good. Um, just I don't know. Logic to me will prevail 100% of the time. Like if both parties are willing to be logical and understand the scenario, the situation, each other's opinions, each other's views, each other's stances, and things like that. But that means that you have to use the logical portion of your brain in order to do that, rather than the emotional side, because the emotional side will almost guaranteed make things worse. So,
Hmm.
at least again, this is in a negative type scenario. Like I said, it's okay to be emotional. It's okay to be logical. You can use both. Um, but you have to know when to use both. You have to stop and think about that and know when
Yeah,
to use both. Know what
yeah.
scenario dictates what. So that's it. That's all I got.
Good job, Kenny. Well, just rounding up, we all get to have choices. We all get to make choices. It's about what you choose. You want to choose to keep being sour and immature, or are you going to choose in that moment to actually grow and enhance your listening skills, your visual skills, all of that? All of that takes play into how successful your relationships in a whole will be. Because you don't want your children to grow up and think that it's okay to be dysfunctional. Nobody has
Facts.
time for that. With that being said, bring it in. Come on, let's hug each other. Because y'all, this was a tough session. Bring it in. This was a tough section, but baby, we made it through. This has been your seat to healing with Kim and I. We are going to link and put in more deets about our episodes. We switch times, so we're gonna put more deets, and then I'll do better in saying it actually when we have our next session. But until then, y'all stay safe. Y'all stay warm, baby. This snow, I ain't gonna get into it. Yeah, just pray. Just pray the snow away. How about that? Sorry, kids. Sorry, kids. Pray the snow away. Y'all stay warm. Y'all stay full of peace. Stay full of making great decisions. So if nobody told you that they loved you today, I said it and I meant it. Go off and be great. Go off and heal. And until next time, see you later.
Take it easy.